Yo guys, hello and welcome to a replay analysis where we're going to be looking at a diamond level Protoss versus Terran. K Arnold versus Pucho. Puko. Yo, Puko! Alright, let's fucking see it, dude. So basically, guys, if you don't know how it works, replay analysis is basically I look at somebody's gameplay and I help them figure out what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong, and what they can do better. What can they do better? So let's go ahead and get our Protoss' perspective here, and we'll see what he sees, we'll see what he does, and how it goes. First things first, build that pylon. Congratulations, you're already Diamond League. Hell yeah. Alright, so far it's fine. I like how you built the pylon too. You built it next to your mineral line. I don't like the gateway placement. I would actually prefer the gateway to be behind the mineral line. Like there. Or there. And then you could like attach a core to it. The reason why is because I would love it to be there. Because it would be nice if you walled off the back of your base. That way if a Reaper runs into your base, he cannot enter the back of your mineral line like this. Because it's walled. So if the Reaper goes through your mineral line, you can grab it with your probes. You can hit it with your probes. A Stalker has a higher chance to kill it. Or if he goes this way and goes behind your mineral line this way, your Stalker can chase him from the top down. You can force him into this fucking death corner that he can't get out of. It makes it harder for a Reaper to run around your base and be annoying. You create like a wall where the Reaper cannot pass. So your Stalker has a chance to kill it, or a better chance to kill it. So I don't really like the gateway position. I don't really feel like it. It's just random at this point. I like it better here. Okay, let's see what you scout first. So, looking at what you just scouted, you scouted really early. Did you scout off the pylon or the gateway? You scouted off the gateway. I like that better. Okay, good. Good. I like the gateway scout. Nice. Now, what do you see? You saw what looked like a gas and a barracks, right? Excuse me. Sorry. I know that was gross. My nose was running. You see a barracks, a depot, and no natural, right? That's the exact same thing as you, where you have a pylon, that's a depot, a gateway, that's a barracks, and then you have a gas as well. Now, if we click his gas, if you actually click his gas, and you look at how production-wise you passed the barracks that was almost done, but if you click his gas, you can see he's mined already 24 gas out of this bad boy, which means, what does that mean? Tell me what it means. Yeah, you listening right now, what does it mean? It means Reaper. If you didn't get that, why does that make sense? Why I don't understand. Because this is going to line up to be a situation where the Terran's going to have roughly near 50 gas. It's not perfect. I think he actually mined a little bit less than he needed to, but he's going to have roughly 50 gas by the time the barracks is done, and he can make a Reaper right away. He doesn't have to, but it's most likely a Reaper opener. This looks super standard, so he should be making a natural pretty soon now. If it was going to be standard as well, like everything's going to be standard about this, there should be a natural, and the best way to know that is to confirm it, to come back later and scout it. So your scouting so far has been fine. If you click the gas, that would be even better, because if there was like 100 gas mined already, you would not want to expect a natural, and instead you would expect like a fast factory to go down before expanding to a natural. And why is that? It would mean that the Terran's build was gas before racks by quite a bit, and why the fuck would you ever go gas that inefficiently if you're just going to make a Reaper and then expand? That makes no sense. Literally no sense. It's just inefficient, and it's bad if you go expansion then. So you can already tell he's probably going to expand. Probably. Again, doesn't have to be, but probably chances are high that he's going to expand. Okay. So I want your probe to not go home right now. I want your probe to scout him again. Now let's look at your build for a second, because again, we'll look at your build and we'll talk about this more. So your build. When did your chrono boost? That's a big deal. People always fuck their chrono boost up. Okay, your chrono boost is fine. I like it. You chrono boost right after the pylon. Good boy. Good job, K Arnold. So many people chrono boost before the pylon, and I don't fucking understand why. You guys are crazy that do that. Don't ever do that. You chrono boost when the pylon is done. And then you should take your natural around 20 supply. And I saw what it looked like you were doing was a Nexus into expand. I mean gateway into Nexus rather before core, which is totally fine. So your build is fine. Yeah, your build so far your build's perfect. Other than placement of gateway, your build's perfect. You build a core. Okay. I don't mind your gateway anymore. I don't give a shit now. Good job with the core. You just good job. Now your build is now your build's great. I have zero problems here. Now you should build a second pylon after the second gas, and if you build it right here, this is fucking amazing. Dude, your build, master's level already. Opening of your game is master's level, and if you throw down a second chrono boost on this Nexus and also a chrono boost simultaneously on this gateway when the second pylon finishes, master's 1 level. Almost your GM material right there. Let's see if you do it. Okay. So you chrono boosted the gateway. Now we'll talk about this a bit more. But your build, I like it. I don't really give a shit about the Nexus. We'll talk about more about your scouting in a second. Your build's good. Up to this point, up to 2 minutes, your build has been great. No, zero complaints. You don't have to go Stalker. You don't have to go Adept. You can go either one. You can go literally either one. So I agree with both. If you go Adept, though, you should be aggressive with it. If you go Stalker, you should be defensive with it. Now let's go back again and let's look at your scouting. I just wanted to see if your build is fucked, and your build actually looks great. So your build up to this point has been good. Now your probe does, this is after it left the first time. It does go back, which is very good. I like this a lot. You should go back because you've started a natural, and if your opponent doesn't start one, what's the discrepancy there? There's a Marine. There is a Marine, and there is no natural. Now what does this mean? It means you're fucking dead. Might as well leave the game. No, what this means? What this means is it means that this might be instead of a Reaper. It might be. So if you don't get attacked by a Reaper soon, again, the Reaper, it's too early for Reaper to bring your base though. It's too early. So if you don't get attacked by a Reaper soon, you could be like, oh shit, maybe he just went for a Reaper expand in terms of gas, but he actually went for a factory or something else instead. So if I were you, what I would try to do is I would try to get up the ramp. And why would I do that? Because if he only has one Marine, I guaranteed your probe will make it from here to here before the Marine kills you. Guaranteed. If it's just one Marine. If you get shot by 2 Marines, I'm going to be like, okay, yeah, you're totally making a factory. 100% making a factory, because if there's 2 Marines right now, that would guarantee there is no Reaper. Because you cannot make 2 Marines this fast and a 3rd Reaper. And also have a Reaper that is a 3rd unit on the map too. There's a limitation to how much units he can make at this point. And if he has 2 Marines, that means that this is what all this barracks is really made, is 2 Marines. Let's see what your probe does. I really want it to go up the ramp. It doesn't go up the ramp. Let's just see, hypothetically, what you would have seen if you scouted the ramp. I'm not going to look at all of his base, but let's just see what he would have... I'm assuming... Actually, you know what? Before we look at that, we'll come back to it later. We'll come back. I just want to... We're going to predict, with what you know, what you can know. Now, all you're relying on if you don't scout the ramp is... Am I going to get attacked by a Reaper? Your Adept's out. There's no Reaper in your base. What the fuck is going on? Now what you're doing is you're waiting to scout him with your Adept now. And this is kind of scary because this could be multiple things now. This could be a command center on the high ground. It could be just safe defensive play. This could be proxy racks that you don't know about. This could be fast factory with tanks. This could be fast 1-1-1 to eventually go into like Banshees or some shit with Hellions. This could be that's pretty much most of the things that the most common ones it could be. The other one is it could actually be fast factories with going into like battle mech. This could actually be Marines into fast factories with tech labs going Cyclones or something like that. It could be that too. And then he could have taken a second gas the second your probe left his base. The fact that you didn't scout the ramp is huge because you would have seen a lot more here, because if it is anything fast tech, that he wants to maximize a timing with, he is most likely going to build an add-on with that factory. Especially if it's a reactor. No one is ever going to go Hellions by going like this. Depot, barracks, never lift it off. Factory, make a reactor, let's go Hellions. That's so fucking bad for Hellions. That's like just an extra 36 seconds that delays Hellions for no reason. That's very bad. That makes it way easier to defend against them. So I agree with your battery so far for the fact that you don't know if he's expanding or not. Making a battery is never a bad idea against Terran anyways because it helps deal with the harass. But you need to go scout him with his adept now. You need to. If you don't, you're playing blind now. You're making a second gateway. You're not scouting him at all, so you're playing risky as fuck. This could be anything. Any of those things that I said. It could be any of them. And it's proxy. It's proxy. So you got lucky by building a battery this early. You got lucky by building a battery this early. But you didn't scout shit. And if you did scout, you would have had more of a read as to what could have been happening. Because here, let me give an example now. Now let's go back. So now it's been revealed. It's proxy tech lab barracks. But now let's go back to when your probe was at his base. Right here. You should have scouted right now. You could have gone up right now, and you could have been up this ramp by like 213. And if you were up this ramp by 213, I guarantee he probably has it walled. He probably has it walled, but it would tell you so much. Let's see what it would tell you. It would tell you he's going for a fucking factory or a tech lab to barracks with no other building around it. That would have been a huge scout because here's number one, okay? Number one. He's got a second depot done already. Your second pylon isn't even done yet. So, guaranteed, this dude made double depot before a second command center. Guaranteed. Fucking guaranteed. So that means that even if he is making a command center, it's super delayed, right? It's super delayed. Wherever it would be, very, very delayed. Now, secondly, he revealed a lot more about what he's doing because he made a tech lab here. Why the hell would you ever make a tech lab right away, right off the bat? You make a marine and then a tech lab. Why would you do this? The only thing you can do with this right now is make marauders out of it. You are not going to get Stimpak this fast in the game because, do you want to know why? Stimpak this fast, like you might eventually get Stimpak, sure, but going for Stimpak this early, all that would do is make you have Stimpacked marines or marauders way before you have access to medevacs. And I'm just going to throw it out there. I think everyone probably understands this concept. Bio actually sucks so bad if it's not supported by medevacs. Like, you could literally have a couple sentries and a guardian shield with like a shield battery with like a couple stalkers, and you would just shit all over bio with no medevacs. It has no sustain because they would kill themselves while stimming. Like, it's not good. Bio without medevac is terrible. So this already proves, this is what it proves. It's going to be aggressive because it doesn't make any fucking sense otherwise. If he goes defensive Stimpak and just sits there defensively, and you force stims on his base when a stalker comes over here, and you poke him and you run away and he stims, like, that's so bad. No one's gonna ever do that. It's unless they really don't know what they're doing. So defensively, no, this makes no sense now. It means aggressive. Number one is aggressive. So making a battery would have been a correct response. Number two, it's not for Stimpak because it's way too early again for Stimpak. That literally, it makes no sense. It's so fucking early. He would be making Stimpak before you even start Warp Gate, if that was the case. That is ridiculous. Normally, Terrans don't start Stimpak until like 5 minutes or 4 minutes, not 2 minutes. Because that would mean he would have no factory, no starport. There would be no tech behind it, no +1. It would just be stim, and just stim is really garbage. So it means that he's probably going to use this for the other reason why there's a tech lab here, which is he's probably going to make marauders out of it, which is the only thing it unlocks right now. The only thing a tech lab unlocks on the barracks is a marauder. And if you see this, and you see the fact that there's 2 depots here and a tech lab already on the racks, you can highly assume there's going to be aggression. And what is one of the most aggressive things Terran can do to you with a barracks with a tech lab this fast? If they make marauder, what's most likely going to happen, right? They're probably going to have multiple barracks. Again, that's not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee, but it's probably what's going to happen, because I'm just going to throw this out there and say, if anybody ever went one barracks Marauder and attacked you, how crappy of an attack would that feel like? You'd be like, what the fuck? I have 3 Stalkers and this dude showed up with 2 Marauders. And I have a shield battery and a fucking Adept and a Sentry. And then he's just, Marauders go over there like, let's do it, boys. And they're like, oh shit, we're dead. Like, that would be the shittiest attack ever. But suddenly, if he has multiple barracks, this attack gets way more threatening. It gets a lot more realistic. So if you would have scouted this early and you assumed, okay, what's the scary thing about this game right now? You should not be thinking he's got tanks. You should not be thinking he's got fucking starport units. You should be thinking he has Marauder access. And if he has Marauder access early on in the game, it's probably because he has multiple barracks for Marauders. So even though I can't see more of them, I guarantee he has more of them. Because if he doesn't, it fucking makes no sense. Like, 1 Marauder at a time is the biggest pussy fucking production I've ever seen. No one's going to do that. It's multiple. So, making a shield battery, a second gateway, and a robo would be a great response to this. Maybe even like a second battery. If you once you get attacked, you could even start like a second battery. And chrono boosting your gates now would make sense. That's what would make sense. And I would say Stalkers would make sense here now. If you would have scouted this with a probe, do not make an Adept, make a Stalker. Because Adept actually sucks pretty bad against Marauder. Adept is not great against Marauder. It kind of like, it doesn't really die fast, but it doesn't kill fast either. A Stalker dies fast, but it kills fast. But you know what's great about that? It doesn't waste your shield battery energy very much because the fight ends quicker. If you make an Adept, all that's going to do is it's going to waste your fucking shield battery. Because it's going to deplete it that shit super quick because you're just getting hit longer. So chrono boosting your gateway is correct. Making an Adept now, I would say, is incorrect because you're probably fighting Marauders. If you would have scouted that. So not scouting that was huge. That was kind of game ending for you, I would say. You still made a battery though. That's lucky. But let's watch your gateway for a second here. So your chrono boost ends. You make a Stalker right away. That is good. That is good. But you don't chrono boost it again. I would definitely say you would probably want to be chrono boosting this gateway non-stop if you think you're going to get Marauder all in. And again, that's the only thing that makes sense. If you see all this shit done early like that, is it's going to be probably a Marauder all in. Oops. You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense to think that this is going to be Marines or like an expand build now. It makes no sense.
I'm here in the shadows.
And now you're running into a problem where you have your second gateway almost done. You have a robo started. I like the fact that you're going 2-gate robo. That is good. It's just you don't have enough Stalkers, and I would say because the reaction is not there at all. But even though this is happening, you're still not dead. You are still not dead right now. You're not dead. All you gotta do, group up your army, like bring the Stalker down to your natural and fight this, and pull the boys. Pull the fucking boys. Do not run beyond shield battery. All you have to do with pulling the boys right now is, this dude just revealed what strategy he's going for. I would say in a perfect world, you should have 1 more Stalker than you do. You should have at least 3 Stalkers already, and a 4th Stalker or a Sentry out on as well. Like, you should have like a 4th unit coming out, and you could have 3 Stalkers and a Sentry. That's could be what your first 4 units could be. You could make Stalker, 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 Sentry, or whatever the fuck. Or I don't even give a fuck. You could go Stalker, 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 Stalker. Either 3 Stalkers and 1 Sentry, or 4 Stalkers is what I would accept here at this point in time, because I guarantee you could have had a 4th unit out by now if you would have made your second gate faster, and if you would have made chrono boost on your gateway more often. Guaranteed. Your second gate was so fucking late compared to what he was doing. Your battery was well timed, but your second gate was super delayed. Your robo is fine. I would say your robo is fine. But rushing your robo would have just made you cut probes. And cutting probes is not like the best answer either. Like, you could definitely deal with this without even cutting probes. But yeah. You could still win the game right now. All you'd have to do not leave your battery. Just think about it like this. You don't have to take damage here. He does. Every time you shoot him, that's damage that does not get healed. Every time he shoots you, you get healed from the battery. If you pull probes right now, what does that do? It makes him run away, and while he runs away, you get free shot, free shot, free shot, free shot, free shot, free shot. He runs, you start with your probes here, he backs up all the way to like right here, or like over here. He's like still kiting you, and then as soon as your probes are like right there, and they're getting max distance of the battery, go mine your mineral line again. Just go back to the mineral line, go mine minerals again. And then at this point, you should still have units in production. And now his units are like yellow, red. One of them might be green still. But you've hit him like 8 times with your stalkers while he tried to deplete your battery. Now, you're still chrono boosting your gateways. But now let's say he pushes you again and your battery's depleted. You use this Nexus to throw a fucking battery overcharge. Boom. Like this Nexus chrono boosts your units. This Nexus can battery overcharge your battery. And now suddenly your battery is good to go for 14 seconds again. 14 fucking seconds. And it's going to be increased like twice as much regeneration as well. 100% increased regeneration for 14 seconds, and it's free. You would crush this timing. If you burn this cooldown right now way too early, it's not good because this is not enough to burst you. This is not enough to burst you. You pulled the boys, you're fighting it, you're not overpowering your battery. This is correct. You should pull the probes back now. You fall back. Your battery's depleted. Now, you should still be making units as well. You should not back up this far. You should definitely not back up this far. Your stalker should be in front of the battery because if you compromise this thing and he focus fires it, a dead battery is not going to be of any help at all. Your stalker should have stayed within battery range the whole time. Your probes should not go further out, but your stalkers should be like literally there all the time. Shooting him, backing up within battery range, shooting him, shooting him, shooting him, shooting him. You want to make this battery live as long as possible while it's overpowered, overcharged, while your stalkers pepper his army up. And you need to be making units the whole time in the process as well. And you also never started warp gate either, which is kind of a blunder because you probably would have warp gate finishing here pretty soon that you could warp into with. Okay. So now you're fighting without a battery turned on. So again, you know that he is very all in here at this point. But again, you reacted to it late as fuck, right? You could have known this is all in earlier and you could have had more shit to deal with this right away. And just know builds like this get out of hand really, really, really fast if you don't react properly. It's an all in. So if you would have had an extra stalker, again, stalker and a marauder, they kill each other super fucking fast, right? So if you had an extra stalker when this first happened, and because you didn't make an adept and you even made a 4th unit, you would have actually had 2 more stalkers than you did because you had 2 in an adept when you should have had 4 or 3 in a sentry. And a sentry is really nice because you can use guardian shield, which makes you just take less damage while you're within range of a battery. So it makes the battery last longer again. But again, if you had 4 we'll just say 4 stalkers, okay? 4 fucking stalkers. If you had 4 stalkers, that's twice the amount of damage you would have had, which is 36 damage a shot, when an adept to a marauder does 10 damage a shot. 10 damage a shot and also a fucking adept shoots slower than a stalker. An adept has a 1.61 attack speed, and a stalker has a 1.34. And a stalker does almost double the damage, almost, of an adept. So a stalker definitely fucking hits way harder. It hits faster and almost double the damage as well. So you could get rid of marauders way quicker with stalkers. And again, you would have made a stalker first if you saw that tech lab. You made an adept after the probe was already going home. So you could have reacted to that. And if you had more stalkers here, you would have actually not been in a situation now where there would be 7 marauders. You probably would have killed like 1 or 2 of the first marauders from the first timing, and you still would have had the 4 stalkers left over. You would have lost none because your battery would not have died. And then right now, instead of having only 4 stalkers, you should have like 6 stalkers with now the ability to go into an overcharged battery. Because again, you are prioritizing stalker, 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 because you're getting all in. So this is just a late as fuck reaction to this, and you don't have enough DPS. You have 1 stalker when you could have like 6 right now. Like, you could have guaranteed 4 right now with 6 either done right now or coming very soon. So you just missed the beat on that hardcore. And this adept is literally That adept, all that adept is doing is literally walking back and forth, being like, ah, shit, I'm just getting hit a lot, and I'm just absorbing all the energy off my shield battery. Like, he's just a fucking damage sponge. You see what I mean, though? Like, look at this. Your next 2 stalkers popped out, and you're beating his ass. This adept is fucking doing nothing. It's just taking a beating to the face. These stalkers, however, are beating his ass. Now, he's backing up because he's about to lose 3 marauders. Now, you need to fucking overcharge this battery soon. If you take a fight right here and you do not overcharge this and you start losing stalkers, big mistake. Also, never compromise the battery. If the battery's compromised like that, if you back up way too far, like, you should be always standing in front of it. If you just back up to, like, right here, or, like, where you are, and he just, like, right here is okay, it's acceptable to a point. If you back up to here like you did earlier, if he walks in right there and he just kills your battery as you walk from here to within range to fight back and save it, it'll die. A battery is actually super fucking squishy. It's squishier than a pylon. So you're backing up again. You should have stayed there. You had it. You literally had the game won. All you had to do right here. You just lost the game right here. Literally. Right here. You have the game won right now. All you have to do, fight his ass, overcharge your battery, focus fire with just like 1 stalker. Kill that one. Kill that one. Kill that one. Just kill the red marauders so that he doesn't have 7 marauders at a time pounding you over and over and over and over. These are all one-hit death. One-hit death. Just click 1 stalker and right-click, 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 or click 1 stalker, A-click, 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 whatever. I don't give a shit. Just get rid of them. You could even do it with all 3. That would even be not great, but still better than not ever doing it. But if you just overcharge this battery, you would actually have enough DPS active to win the fight. Because here's the thing. How much damage do Marauders do? They do 20 damage every second, basically. And he has exactly, right now, he's got 6 here. He's got 6. So, fuck the Marines as well. Who cares about the Marines? It's not that big of a deal. The Marauders are the main one we care about because they're the big pounding damage. He's got 20 damage every second, so that's 120 damage a second. Because he's got 6 of them shooting. So he's roughly going to be doing roughly 120 damage a second. Okay? It's not exact, but it's roughly, because it's not exactly 1 second. It's 1.07. Now, this battery, just to let you know, a battery can heal. Well, it says 36 energy, 36 shields per second. So a battery can heal, essentially, with what it says here on the command card. If it's multiplied by 2 because you overcharge the battery because it increases it by 100%, means you can heal 72 fucking energy a second. So if you get rid of these 3 Marauders, 111, his damage goes from 120 down to 60. And 72 is better than 60, and you have 14 fucking seconds of this. I guarantee your stalkers would last long. One of your stalkers, whatever one would take the beating, or your adept would get the shit kicked out of it from the first couple volleys of these units. But it would be like 1 or 2 volleys from the Marauder of all of them, and then after like the second volley, you have already killed like 1 or 2 of the red ones, and now suddenly the damage is way lower, right? And now your battery can actually comfortably keep everyone topped off. It's not like chunking down below the shield and going into the hull damage, where the actual HP is, where the green is. It's staying in the shield range where it can keep healing the shields. But the fact that you, like, so if you just focused his red units here, and you just overcharged your battery, you would win the fight right now. Guaranteed. Even if you didn't focus the units that are red, and you just let the AI do it, you would probably reset each other's armies if you got really unlucky and you kept focus firing a green Marauder. It would be like, wow, okay, like maybe like 2 or 3 Marauders live with red health and all my stalkers died. But his Marauders are like dead as fuck, so these next 2 stalkers that come out and my Immortal, they'd be able to clean up. But because you back up and sacrifice the battery, which I can tell is about to happen, you get fucked here. And you never also overcharge the battery. So you're winning the fight hardcore right now. If you overcharge this battery, this Adept is tanking. And that Adept is also in range of the battery. It is 100% in range of the battery. This is actually one of the few times I would say having an Adept here would be intelligent. Because if he doesn't focus fire your Stalker, and you overcharge his battery, and your Adept is just, again, it's just getting punched in the face repeatedly by these fucking Marauders, and it's just getting healed like crazy because you want to know how much damage Marauders do to an Adept? It's 10, 10, 10, 10. So they're doing 60 to an Adept, not 120, because they don't. An Adept is not armored. They do not get the bonus damage. So that's even better. If he actually focus fires the fucking Adept, and you have the battery on, you easily win here. Even if you don't focus fire, you would easily win. The battery would easily heal through that, because it would be 60 DPS a second versus 72 shields a second. And again, that's 14 seconds of free healing. You would easily win that fight, because your Stalkers would actually kill this shit in much faster than 14 seconds. Like, your Stalkers will kill these units pretty fucking fast, especially since they don't have a medevac. So again, standing here, overcharging the battery. And again, that's all it is. And I'm trying to explain why that is. And I want you to really understand why that is. But that is all you would have to have done to win the game here. To win the game here. But you back up, you compromise the battery. And again, like I said, a battery is fragile as fuck. It's more fragile than a pylon. How much does a battery cost? It's 100 minerals only. Sorry, that was a chat question. It's the same cost as a pylon. It's 100 minerals. That's it. That's it. No supply, no gas. It's just 100 minerals. So you back up and you compromise the battery, and he just focuses it down. And this thing will die in 2 fucking hits. Because it's 120, 120. That's more than, at 120, 120 from each Marauder is 240. And this shield battery in total has 228. And if you add in the extra DPS of now the Marines and the Reaper, that should be enough to kill it in 2 volleys. Because that's an extra, like, 24 damage from the Marines and an extra, like, 8 damage from the Reaper. So my point, and also your shield battery's, not even full health either. It's lower than what it should. It should be 300, but it's lower than that because it got hit earlier too. Because the last time you compromised it, but you compromise it, he focuses it, it just fucking dies. Oh shit! That is the biggest fucking mistake from Terran to not kill that. That is the biggest fucking mistake. He should have totally killed that fucking thing. He would have won the game right now if he killed it. Guaranteed. The fact that he backed up, that is opportunity for you so fucking much. You need to get the fuck in there and start killing his units. I don't know why he wouldn't kill that. He's crazy. But here's the thing, right? You can't chase him. I agree that you can't chase him. You cannot chase him. Because if you chase him, you're gonna die. So what the battery overcharge has to be is it has to be a capitalized moment, which you should have had because you should have had more Stalkers, where you could actually pick him apart, and then you can always fall back to the battery. And in the moment that this happens, it should have been enough time for you to overpower him in overall amounts of units, where you should now have an Immortal. You should have more Stalkers. Warp Gate should definitely be done by now. So you should be able to be like, well, even though you avoided my overcharged battery, I have just enough units now to keep being made that I can defend myself here. And here's the crazy thing. Overcharged battery is a 60-second cooldown. It's a 60-second cooldown, guys. And this shit lasts for 14 seconds, and it regenerates energy while the shit's being overcharged. So that means that you will actually have a battery by the time this is over that'll be back to like 30 energy or so. Or like 25 energy. It'll be a bit up again. And then you will have battery again. Like, even though the overcharge will end, you'll have energy on the battery itself to heal you again. That'll help you. And then eventually you can overcharge it again before you know it. You're like, wow, overcharged battery's back again. Like, look at the cooldown. It's already almost... It's like a third of the way done already. Now, obviously, he's going to attack you again right now. And where's your Immortal? You see, now, this is the moment, okay? This is the moment. This is the first time I would say it would... Because you've lost control of the battery at this point, and he's coming back way too fast for the amount of army you have. This is the moment where I would say it would make sense to run back here, because now you're not trying to rely on the battery anymore. This thing's almost depleted still, and his army is still too big. Because you've kind of missed the window we talked about just a second ago, where I said you should have had more. Well, you don't, right? You don't have more, because you haven't been making as much as you should have been throughout the process, which is why your probes are all dead now. But what you should do now is you should totally back up. Let this fucking die. Let him shoot a pylon. Let him shoot a nexus. Who fucking cares? Save your Stalkers. Wait for your immortal. Fight with it all at once. If you stand here and let your fucking stalkers die, and then your immortal comes out by itself, that is awful for you. That is not going to be very good. But if you, here's the thing. If you would have ran back here and he would have chased, if he just goes, you know what, fuck the pylons, fuck the battery, I don't care, I'm going to run back here and fight your stalkers. Your immortal would come down the ramp, like right there, as your stalkers are back here, and the marauders are like right there. So you still could engage with both of it at once, because you would make him chase you for longer. Because you know why? He doesn't have stim pack. He can't have stim pack. It's impossible to have stim pack right now. He cannot run faster than you. You can actually run faster than him. So you can pick where the fight happens. If you stand here, though, you're going to die. And you're also not focus firing the red marauders either. And now all your stalkers are dead, and now your immortal's fighting by itself versus still 6 marauders. And the funny thing is your immortal might actually fucking wreck this. If you actually killed the red immortals first, or the red marauders first, and then the yellow one, and then the green ones, you would probably kill 5 marauders before this immortal would die. I'm not even kidding. This thing is a fucking beast. But if you shoot a marine first, or a green marauder, and you just let all of them pound you all at once, your marauder's gonna, or you're gonna kill maybe 1 marauder. So you're shooting a marine that's green. You killed it. Now you're shooting a green marauder. You gotta focus fire a bit better here on the reds. Oh yeah, you honestly, again, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. You have to focus fire when you get behind like that, okay? I don't want you to think you have to focus fire every time no matter what. You don't. Well, that comes later when you play against like masters, grandmasters players that are like, oh, you guys are both like microing and focus firing and shit like that. So you have to like maximize everything. But in Diamond League, all you had to do to win this game, going back and looking at it now again, scout his fucking base properly with the tech lab right here, right now. Scout that fucking tech lab. React right now. Right now. Second gateway, make a stalker. Second gateway, right now. At 2:15. Fucking gateway number 2, right now, right now, right now. Because you are getting fucking cheesed. And then make a stalker. Chrono boost that stalker. Make warp gate. Make a battery. That's the order that should be in. Gateway, stalker, chrono, warp gate, battery. And then you keep making probes whenever you can, and you keep making stalker, 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 and you just stand in front of your battery. You literally just fucking stand in front of your battery, and at that point you would fucking destroy this guy, because it wouldn't be a situation where it's like, oh, there's 3 red marauders. There'd be 3 dead marauders is what they would be, and then his army would not be fucking 6 or 7 marauders at a time pounding your army. It would be like 2 or 3 at a time, because he would be using 1 production cycle at a time. So you would crush the shit out of him if you just reacted properly. But you didn't know what you were reacting to, so you make no gateway, and you make a fucking adept. Because you don't know what you're playing against, because you didn't scout the ramp. So that's super huge. That's why you lost, honestly, because there was like no reaction. Your microing, other than focus firing, was all good though. Your probe usage was great. Your build order was great. That was all good. It's just, yeah, you need to like prioritize stalkers faster. And then you'll fucking wreck. Because if you would have had stalker, like the thing is if you have like six stalkers at your natural with a battery, and now suddenly also an immortal, the chance of you dying in that game is like 1%. It's super low. It's like almost like non-existent. The only way you could lose then is if you did a full SCV pull, and then you somehow let all your stalkers die and you don't react to it in any way. Like that's it. But even if you pulled SCVs at that point and you had an immortal and 6 stalkers, I'd still be like, I still feel kind of confident that you might still win here. Like, it doesn't seem that bad. But yeah, I hope that makes sense. That is why you lost. You had this game this game was actually way more winnable than you think. Just a minor alteration, very small tweak, and you would have crushed this guy. But yeah, man, thank you guys for watching. I hope it makes sense. K. Arnold, much love for the request. And good luck to you in the future, dude. Hell yeah. And guys, good luck to you as well in the future in your own games. And if you guys enjoyed this, go check out more of my videos if you want. I have more coaching videos, replay analysis videos, bronze and GM videos, tons of videos on YouTube. But thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. So until then, good luck and peace out. Later, guys.